Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kay. I love playing cozy games and fun Nintendo games, especially Animal Crossing. And today I thought I would walk you through my redesign of my two starting hard mode villagers' houses because they're iconic now. They have to stay on my hard mode island forever. And let's regroup and talk about hard mode and all the things. Admittedly, one of my favorite things in the world to do is actually to redo the interior, and exterior of my villagers' homes once I get the ability to, which means speedrunning through HHP. It was fun the first time, but the fourth time, I just had to speed through. I gave some villagers some very questionable houses. It was fine. Anyway, since my two starting villagers were still on my island when I finished hard mode, I was like, you know what? I am going to redesign their houses and they're going to like it. Because of course they had starter houses and they looked like absolute garbage. So here is Pashmina. She's gonna get her house redone. She's very excited about it, as you can see from her very excited expression. So I thought I would talk a little bit about hard mode and what we all experienced while we were bored in Animal Crossing. So Animal Crossing came out in 2020. Well, the new version of Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing's been out since 2001 or 2003, I think, in the United States. Anyway, it's been around for a while, and it came out at the perfect time. Everyone was trapped at home. We all needed something to do, something cozy, and we had this game where we could decorate, talk to our animals, all kinds of stuff. It was like the perfect storm, okay? And I didn't even know an Animal Crossing was coming out. Literally in 2020 when it came out. I had been sort of out of the loop of video game news. I had been, replaying Wind Waker on my Wii U. I had been doing all kinds of nonsense. I literally had just been playing Breath of the Wild for I think years. That was really the only interesting thing I was doing on my Switch besides Ace Attorney. So when Animal Crossing came out, I was really surprised. I was like, oh, there's a new Animal Crossing? That looks pretty cool. And of course, we all fell in love. And there never has been a lot to do in Animal Crossing. I'm gonna be honest. There's plenty to do. It's very repetitive, and that sort of is the nature of simulation games, is that you do a lot of the same things over and over again, and there's some comfort in that tedium, in that repetitive nature of the everyday tasks that you're doing in this virtual world, talking to your virtual neighbors. But I found that there was plenty to do in this Animal Crossing. I was really reluctant to change the time on my Switch, so I didn't do a lot of time traveling. I kind of wanted to enjoy the slowness of the game. I've always been that way. I never did a lot of time traveling in any of the Animal Crossings. I always felt weird when I did it. In the original Animal Crossing, I was like, I just can't. I think I did it once to get to morning stretching in the original Animal Crossing, and I felt really bad when I did it, so I never did it again. I literally got up early enough to get to morning stretching to do the thing, and when I got the accomplishment, I felt better about it than if I had just changed the time on my GameCube. So years went by after New Horizons came out. We were playing, we were having a good time, we were decorating, and then the whole thing with Treasure Islands kind of happened, where people would allow you to grab anything from an island that was a hacked Switch, and that was cool for decorating. And then the updates that we thought we were getting. Now, there was some speculation that it was said that we would get updates for 2 to 3 years. I actually did some investigation into this, where they had actually said this, and Nintendo never said that. They never said it, so they gave us updates, I think, for 2 years with a big gap between those updates, right? So we kind of stopped getting updates. When did we stop getting updates? 2020, 2021 maybe? We got that festival update, and then we got the update for the Hello Kitty villagers, like the Sanrio villagers. That was really amazing. And then it just kind of stopped. And we didn't have any new toys to play with in Animal Crossing. And everybody got really bored. And then we got the big 2.0 update, where they dropped a big old buttload of content on us at once. And it was really incredible because we didn't expect to get like that much content. But once we kind of got through all that stuff, we got a bunch of new furniture, which actually mostly I think I'm using here in this build. The new items that they gave us to decorate with and play with are absolutely incredible. They're beautiful and well designed, and I love playing with them. I much prefer to decorate with the newer items, the 2.0 items, than I do with like the regular 1.0 items. I only see like it looks like in this build I used like 60% new items and 40%, maybe even a little lower, old items. So I love the new items. I think they're great. But needless to say, we were all getting bored. We were running out of things to do. We were, there was only so much fun we could have. And it was up to people like Crunchy Island and EJ Plays to come up with really competitive, exciting things to do in Animal Crossing that weren't just regular Animal Crossing play through. So Crunchy Island, I feel like, was one of the first people to like make a maze on their island and have people come over and try to get through the maze. That was like one of the most innovative things I've ever seen. I remember in 2020 watching those Crunchy Island mazes going, how much time would you have spent? Like, how long would this take to create? Amazing. Stress me out though. I don't think you would find me on any of those mazes ever. And then, there was the whole Survivor on Animal Crossing, Last Crosser Standing, that EJ came up with. An incredible concept. If you have not seen it, I will link EJ's whole series down below. They were doing it live at one point, and then they did a pre-recorded version, which is absolutely incredible. If you have not seen it, it is incredible. But it made Animal Crossing fun again and something to do. It was to have like a game show on the island. And then, there was a content creator by the name of Nintendo Gurus, who's no longer with us, unfortunately, but he came up with a really fun game show called Nook or No Nook, where viewers came over and it was like a trivia game or something. It was so fun. And so people have been coming up with ways to make Animal Crossing interesting since the beginning. Pat and Blaine, Nintentalk, and Viwick came up with not Scavenger League, Sabotage League, which is a villager hunting competition, which was super fun for a while. But the only thing about that was content creators were the ones who were participating in that and not the audience and everyone else at home. So it was something to watch, but not really something to do. And then Pat came up with this brilliant idea in January for a community challenge called Hard Mode, and it took off. Community challenges are so important to these kinds of sim games. I think that Animal Crossing is very similar to the franchise called The Sims, which EA owns, but it's made by Maxis. A lot of you probably know about The Sims, but now we are on The Sims 4. The original Sims has been out, I think, since like 2000. I think the game's been out forever. But we are now on Sims 4, and the Sims 4 is a little different because the Sims 4 has a lot of content. The Sims has a lot of paid content, frankly, but The Sims is different because you can mod the game. They don't really discourage it. I mean, they don't promote it, but they don't discourage it either. They're very supportive of their modding community, but The Sims is very similar, in which the gameplay can get really repetitive and tiring. And forever, I feel like forever in the Sims community, people have been coming up with challenges. All right, let's take a break to look at my beautiful pashmina build. This seems like the kind of place Pashmina would live. Like, she seems like she's like that girl who would have a stylish apartment and you don't even know it. Like, she's just out being a regular person, just being really chill. But then you get to her apartment and you're like, this is the coolest apartment I've ever seen. Did you design this? And she's like, yeah, I just like put some stuff together wherever. I go to thrift stores and I pick this piece up and blah, blah, blah. She seems like she's that girl where you like are jealous and you're actually kind of mad that she's not like annoying. You know what I'm talking. You know that girl. You know that girl. It's time for Stinky. It's time for Stinky. Stinky's an icon and you can't tell me any different. You can't tell me any different. Anyway, hard mode was an absolute like firestorm. There were articles written about it online on like different websites, and there was a lot of weird controversy around like this is not an original idea, which I thought, are there any original ideas anymore? So it was a little weird for me, but I really do think that hard mode was one of those things that the Animal Crossing community really needed. It was a fresh way to put new perspective on the game. It wasn't about just starting a new island and decorating it again and having it be a different theme or whatever. We've all done that. Fun fact, I don't think I've ever finished like any themed island ever. I just don't have it in me. I'm not a island finisher. You know what? Comment down below if you are also not an island finisher. I don't feel like I ever finish any decorating project ever. Like in my home, I feel like it's not done. Like I feel like if one day I want to move some stuff around in my office, I'm going to do it. I mean, right now, I guess it's finished. Like, I don't know how much you can see in the background, but like it's finished. But if I change my mind one day and I want to move a piece of furniture, I'm going to do it. So anyway, I'm not a finisher, but you know, we've all had that whole thing where we're like, oh, we're going to finish an island and like start a new one. And then we go through the same rigmarole. We go to the treasure island, we get the items, we put them down, we get the shop for the patterns, we do the pattern shop. Not that this is not all extremely fun, because it is. But I think that we all needed something new to do, because when the game was new, we were all discovering things and we were having a great time being wowed and just amazed at the new things. So I think one of the most important rules in hard mode, which made it really fun, was the rule that you had to design all of your own clothes and make your own patterns, because this forced me to use a part of the game I had never used before. Like, I don't think I'd ever made a custom pattern ever in the game before hard mode. I mean, I may have done like, you know, a very simple one, but I had never sat down and said to myself, you know what, I'm going to make a shirt or I'm going to design this dress. And the great thing about that was it forced me to look up tutorials, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. None of us knew what the heck we were doing. I'm not a pixel artist. So I found so many great creators when I was looking up tutorials, and there are so many great tutorials online on how to do pixel art and how to design your own custom codes. April Honey is one of those standout creators that when I was searching for how to make a custom pattern, they came up and I was like, this is what I'm going to watch, because it's so thorough and it seemed not as intimidating as some of the other tutorials that I had seen. So I was really, really happy to find them, and they are like a standout creator to me. If you have not found April Honey, I will link their channel down below. They are a wonderful content creator, very sweet, super, like if you want to ask a question, very available. So making my own patterns was a real game changer. I found out that I actually liked making clothes. I don't think I made a lot of ground patterns. I made a few here and there to add texture to the island, but I didn't really make a lot of those. I got intimidated by it, but I'm sure if I had played longer, I definitely would have, messed around more and made my own paths. But the other thing that made it really fun for me is my sort of forced attachment to villagers I would never really consider. So Stinky and Pashmina, of course, were my starter villagers, and the rule was you could not move them off your island until you got their picture. Well, at least if you got one picture. If you did restart your island after the first, like if you re-rolled your island, if you didn't like your starter villagers, then you had to get both of their photos. But if you only like did the one restart, you could just get the one starter villagers photo. So I was like, from the very beginning, I was like, I'm going to kick off Stinky, whatever. But in going through and sort of dealing with my island, I really got to enjoy Stinky. And the whole plot device of like my not getting his photo actually became sort of a running joke through my Let's Play series, which I kind of enjoyed. You know, like every time I gave him a dinosaur part, I knew he wasn't going to give me his photo, because I feel like it's only like a 10% chance of them giving you their photo. So I knew it wasn't going to work out. But it made me really like him. I never would have selected Stinky for any other project in any other Animal Crossing island, except we were sort of forced on each other, and I really liked him. And I was like, there's no way I can kick him off after all this. Like, no way. And I really enjoy Pashmina too. I kind of was very neutral about Pashmina, but I really enjoy her now. I think she's really fantastic. And I got stuck and it sort of forced me to be okay with letting some villagers go. Like when Sky moved out and when Puddles moved out, I was so bummed, but I was like, you know what, we're just gonna go with it. And I got some really interesting and good replacements. And we kind of it became this little hard mode island like community vibe, and it felt different than any of my other islands. It felt like a team. I don't know, it felt really weird. And every little milestone that I hit in hard mode, like if I upgraded my house, if I learned a new DIY, if I, caught a new fish, if an NPC visited, it was such a great event because you couldn't cheat. You couldn't time travel. I mean, well, you could time travel, but like not a whole lot. You couldn't get a DIY from like a treasure island. So it was just such an incredible experience and a great challenge. And I had so much fun. And I think it was exactly what the community needed at the time, because I feel like there is a ton of Animal Crossing burnout. And let's be honest, I don't think, now this is my like wild speculation, I really don't think the next Animal Crossing is going to come out until the next console comes out. And it could be a few years after. I have no idea. The idea that Animal Crossing didn't come out until 2020 is telling. So, I hope that they have now realized the success of the franchise. And this game is the best-selling game in Japan, I believe, and I think second or third best-selling title on Switch. It may be different as I'm filming this video. It is July 2023, but it is a really successful title. So I'm hoping that they're very much on development on the next one. But I think that we're going to have to rely on the magic of challenges for the foreseeable future. And I think I was saying before, but I didn't really get around to saying that the Sims franchise has been kept alive years because of challenges. There was the Not So Berry challenge, the Rags to Riches challenge, the 100 Baby challenge, the Black Widow challenge, a bunch of challenges, like all these legacy challenges to keep you interested and to keep the gameplay fresh with certain limitations and rules to make it more challenging, to get you out of your box, your sandbox, so that you can do different things. And I think that's what the Animal Crossing community needs to keep the game interesting until the next game comes out. So those are my thoughts on why hard mode was so successful. I am really looking forward to the next iteration of the community challenge. I hope to have fun, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a Let's Play again or do a live streaming. I'm leaning towards doing a Let's Play again. because if I'm gonna be like 100% honest, I really enjoyed making the hard mode Let's Play. I had so much fun. Every day I wanted to sit down and film and like see what like all my villagers were up to and like what the deal was. It was so fun. So I'm just hoping that you are looking forward to watching that. I don't know. Would you be? Let me know down in the comment below. Otherwise, I can just stream it. So, but here is Stinky's finished abode. Doesn't it look cute? I love that I gave him a little gym with his little lockers. I think that's just so fresh. He's just like, he's a stinky athletic boy. And there he is with his infamous pink bandages. Like, all of my reactions from that Let's Play are genuine. Like, I was like, oh, I'll just give him these bandages. And I didn't expect his ears to disappear because I forgot that happens. And I didn't remember that it was pink. So I was quite surprised when I saw him wearing those bandages. And it almost took me out. I think this home is so cute for Stinky. And those are the houses. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this ramble about Animal Crossing hard mode. I hope it made sense. I was going to script this video, but then I was like, you know what? It's going to take too long, and I'll just going to talk from my heart, even though I'm not really super articulate all the time. I think I've got a little bit of editing to do in this video. So let me know if you're looking forward to the next Animal Crossing Community Challenge, and if you think community challenges are what it takes to kind of keep the game really front of mind for a lot of players. I know a lot of players have like just gotten out of it and don't play anymore, but a lot of us still are playing. I still enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.